Is Caleb Williams worth the hype? He's being heralded as the next big thing in the NFL, the next wunderkind, and maybe the biggest prospect at quarterback since Trevor Lawrence, if not even more so. He's getting comparisons to Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in football right now, and probably will go down as one of the best all time when it's all said and done. So is he worth this praise, or is he getting massively overhyped? We want to first focus on the comps to Patrick Mahomes, as there is a lot of similarities between the two. The reason that Mahomes and Caleb Williams get comped together so much, in our opinion, and probably most people's opinions, is the improv skills. Caleb Williams, as you can see from the film we've included, has some of the wildest plays you'll ever see in avoiding sacks and keeping his eyes downfield and making throws. Whether they're complete or not, they are incredible. His ability to escape the pocket is one of the best we've seen, better than anyone this year, better than anyone last year. It's kind of wild, and we understand how you can see Patrick Mahomes in this part of his game. That being said, we actually feel like Caleb Williams is probably a little bit better of an athlete than Mahomes, a better runner, like a pure runner of the football. Don't get me wrong, Mahomes is heavily underrated in this aspect, but Williams is extremely effective and elusive when it comes to this. Somewhat related to this is Caleb Williams' off-platform throws that, again, is very Mahomes-esque. He can make the platform throws and has a very good motion, but he also gets a lot of juice on plays where he's in the air, where he's off his back foot, where he's flat-footed, where he's rolling left and throwing left, where he's rolling right and throwing left, where he's rolling right and throwing right, etc. You get the point. It is another part of the game that is very similar to Mahomes. However, it is in our opinion that that's where the similarities stop. Caleb Williams has a very good arm, but I don't know that it is at the Mahomes level or the Josh Allen level. It's strong enough, and we would even say it's an elite trait, but you're talking about Mahomes and Allen having two of the strongest arms in football, and I don't feel like Caleb Williams personally is quite there. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. He still has an arm to make all the throws. And this could be something that we see growth from this season. They are similar size, although Mahomes is slightly bigger, but not so much that it makes that much of a difference. But also, Caleb Williams is coming into a different circumstance than Mahomes had coming out of Texas Tech. Mahomes was obviously never considered for the first overall pick, or at least it really didn't seem like it. And he was knocked for coming from the Texas Tech air raid system, whereas Caleb Williams seems to be the clear-cut quarterback one. If he even goes into the draft, it's worth noting that he hasn't committed to the draft. He said repeatedly that he might even return to school after this season, depending on what happens. But Caleb Williams has been in the massive spotlight for years now in a way that Mahomes wasn't. Now, Mahomes is a great prospect. He was a first rounder. The Chiefs traded up for him. But Mahomes, because of where he was taken and the team he was taken to, was allowed to sit for a year and learn. And Williams most likely will not be put in that situation. He'll be required to start right away and see very good results immediately. And then lastly, there have been some slight concerns about Caleb Williams' maturity. I don't know that it's as bad as people say. You can play with some fire, with some flair. It's worth keeping an eye on. However, his Heisman speech and his interviews are very good. It's not like he is answering questions wrongly. It's more just the fingernail painting, the Heisman pose, just different stuff like that. And you know what? He's a college kid who has been told he's the best all his life, and we hope that he at least matures, which theoretically should happen. That'll be something to just keep an eye on come draft time next year, if he's in the draft, his interviews, his comments and stuff like that. But that's, again, it's not a glaring red flag. And what we want to see from him this season is take care of the ball. He plays too much hero ball, and we understand why. That's something that at the NFL might be a little bit of a culture shock and lead to a lot of turnovers early. But in all, we see the comparisons to Mahomes. We don't think it's fair to compare him to Mahomes because you're talking about the best quarterback in football. But Caleb Williams should be the top prospect next season, and we expect him to be great.